Now, I have a little problem with the Osmo Nano. So I'm going to try to make myself a waterproof Osmo Nano with the third-party filter. Third-party filters, none of them actually have water protection. So this one, the original one, you can see that it has this rubber seal around. And then the replacement filters, I don't know if you know, when you get the filters like a CPL, like this one over here that I have, you can see it doesn't have a rubber seal. So what I try to do is like I measured it, I tried to go online and find the little rubber seals, and I'm going to test whether any of these ideas that I have currently is gonna work. Let's see how that goes. Will it fit here? Put this inside here, around the lens, top. And then the second part of the idea is to use bigger ring for the outside part of the lens. Measure this correctly, this should just be a little bit narrower so it doesn't create too much pressure, and possibly I should be able to rotate it. There is a river in front of my house, so the surface of the river reflects, so we will see whether this works or not. Okay, this is actually working. What you have to be careful is if you spin it in the opposite direction, like this one, then you are going to unscrew the whole filter, which you don't want to do underwater, right? But if you keep on spinning it into this direction, which is counterclockwise, then it is going to stay inside and it is actually going to polarize properly. I think now the only thing I have to do is like drop it on the water and see whether it's going to leak. I think I may have solved my problem. I really want to just have the little device on. Okay, we've noticed a problem. It is showing on ultra wide. On standard and dewarp, it's not showing, but on ultra wide it is. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this in half. Okay, I've cut the ring in half, and now it should be exactly the thickness to fit around. It's exactly the thickness that needs to be around the lens. And can I still spin it? That's the question. And it's not that big. Yeah, that impacts the spin. I need to set up the filter to polarize, to max polarization before it goes into water. Let's see whether this is actually going to work or if this is going to let the water in. Okay, I have it ready, and I'm going to dip it into my fish tank. There we go. Yeah, after some meddling, I've managed to set it. Okay, the camera is now underwater, and then we will see once we put it up here, there, and we'll come back in about half. So let me tell you why I used two rings. One, because the circular polarizer has an outside rotational part which needs to be covered by rubber in order not to get the water inside. So when you rotate the polarizing filter, it still has a little gap that the water could get through. And on the inside, I've put another rubber ring, so in case the water does come on the inside part of the thread, there is a rubber part that prevents it going onto the lens. If my plan is going to work correctly. If it's not working correctly, then well, yeah, that's going to cost me some money. This was the same problem that I had with the Go 3S, because once you buy an external CPL, it makes the videos and pictures, especially at the seaside and the water side, look really, really cool. When it removes that reflection from the surface of the water, it looks like you have this super crystal clear water. But for that, you need to have a housing. The housing does two things as a problem. First problem is that it kind of breaks down the audio. The audio sounds like shit. The second part is it's too bulky and it's too unwieldy, that you can't clip it, you can't use it as the camera was intended to be used as a small device. So I devised this plan once I get the Osmo that these little rings should do the trick if I manage to install them properly. It's first test of being waterproof and splash proof. That is going to be kind of a starting point, I guess, to see whether this thing is going to work as intended. Oh, there you are. Okay, on the 13-minute mark, and we don't have any fogging or any water leakage around the lens. I may be able to say that this is gonna work. Now, do you guys have a better idea of how to maybe try to do this and attempt this? Because right now I have a working solution, but it's not perfect. Okay, let's take a look at this part. You can see there is a little bit of water trace on the outside of the ring. Let's check if there is any water on the inside. There is some water trace on the inside. See, there is some, but it didn't pass through the rings, it seems. So, because there was a little bit of water inside, what we're going to do, we're going to change this a little bit up, and I'm going to add a little bit of rubber seals to see whether this changes anything. One, I have added another seal inside of the lens. So I am going to tighten this up. Before I screw it all the way to the end, I am going to add another seal, this one on the outside, like this. That, and then I'm going to squeeze it in. I will actually wrap up the ring in Teflon tape. Okay, now when I covered this in Teflon, then I'm going to go and mount it onto the outside part of the lens again. Version 2 is ready. So let's go and try to submerge this one right now and set it to record and see what happens next. She is underwater. She is recording. Yeah, there is no water leakage signs around the lens whatsoever. There is no water intake. Okay, let me wipe my hands and then we'll see what's next. I wonder whether this time around it's also going to go inside. Well, maybe this experiment is going to be successful in terms of I'm not destroying my camera and I don't have to pay for another one from DJI Gear. Or it's going to end up that I'll be able to create something and have a good starting point, and then you guys can tell me what you think I should do next. It seems that only DJI's original ND filters are kind of waterproof and nothing else, and that's a problem. Half an hour just ran, and let's see what is happening here. I think the battery is out. She is blinking, so it is not that the water got inside. Okay, let me disconnect this part. Let's take this seal first. To me, this is actually okay. Let me try this out. You can see there was some water on the edge, but it doesn't seem to have gone in to touch the camera. So I think that the stuff that I made is actually working, but it is not a perfect solution, no. Because you can see that the water is in these ledges, but it didn't go onto the camera. Yeah. Anyway, for splashing, it seems like that's going to be perfectly fine. For diving, no, not so much. Yeah. Let me see if I can find a better plan. Okay, I have another version on my mind, and let me go and try it. Okay, I've already measured this ring, and I'm going to put it here on this indent over here on the lens. That's going to be part one. Then when I'm going to be screwing this filter on, I am going to make sure that there is this ring lying closely up to here on this edge. For the last part, I'm going to use a different rubber band on the outside part of the ring to see whether that is going to do any good for prevention. Then I'm going to tighten it up. I'll try to put a layer of this and then this on top to prevent any part of possible opening between. But you get the idea, don't you? Okay, I will try this and I'll let you know how it goes. Which may mean that this version could work. Out. Wait, shrimp. Now let's go rinse it and see what happens. Okay, she is. Let's see if there is any water after this time. If there is any water inside, maybe just try to unscrew it. I can't. Okay, let's take the light here. There is no water inside. Zero. So I have this inner ring, and then I have the outer ring that I put, plus the tape, plus this. So this and this, and that worked. So I managed to secure it properly, but it's a little bit of a hassle. So I am posting this video to ask you for advice and to try to help me out whether you can tell me, is there a better way to try to make this happen? What are your ideas? Let me know.